Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan, and this is your JIS News for Monday, December 18, 2023. The government has announced plans to mandate plastic separation and recycling by all ministries, departments, agencies, and statutory bodies as part of the management of solid waste. The implementation will begin in the next fiscal year when budgetary allocations are made for the initiative. This update came from Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Thursday.
Persons would have to acquire new garbage bins for separation. They would have to identify spaces in their entities and so forth. So that is a definitive action that the government will take as a step towards a national regulatory platform for the separation of waste, particularly for the identification and proper sequestration of plastics.
The Prime Minister was in Portmore for the opening of a new recycling plant by Recycling Partners of Jamaica. He says a special line item budgetary allocation will be made for a public education campaign to support the proper disposal of waste, in particular plastics. The government will also start developing legislation necessary for the enforcement of waste separation. The proposed policy for the separation of waste and recycling of plastics in public entities follows previous programs by the government, such as the ban on single-use plastic.
This initiative that we're going to do next will again change the profile of the waste, but I'm certain it will have an impact on the volume of waste for which the recycling partners would be more interested in as a metric of progress.
A new OneStop facility has been established to provide seamless and immediate support to the victims of domestic violence and other offences. The OneStop Victim Centre for Sissoko was constructed on the Denby Showground in Maypen, Clarendon. It was officially opened last Wednesday by the Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang. In 2022, police statistics identified Clarendon as one of 5 parishes with high-risk violence against women and girls. Minister Chang says this centre is a direct response and intervention to strengthen the Jamaica Constabulary Force's capacity to respond to and support victims of domestic violence in the parish. The European Union, UNICEF Jamaica, the United Nations Development Programme UNDP, and the Spotlight Initiative played key roles in the establishment of the Clarendon-based facility. There are now 10 domestic violence intervention centres spread across the island, and Minister Chang adds that by the end of this calendar year, Kingston and St. Andrew will be served by a newly renovated and more modern Sissoko facility. The agency's headquarters is moving from Ruthven Road to the Upper Musgrave area in St. Andrew. The University of the West Indies, UWI, and the Consular Corps of Jamaica have entered a partnership to train and build awareness on human trafficking. A memorandum of understanding to outline the terms of the arrangement was signed at the UWI regional headquarters in Kingston last week. National Security State Minister Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn says the government of Jamaica welcomes the partnership as there is greater need to increase awareness and engagement within the ministries, agencies, and departments of the state, as well as among other external stakeholders.
I am very confident that this awareness building initiative will only further enhance the government's thrust to combat human trafficking, as it is not only a Jamaican issue, but represents a global threat.
Minister Cuthbert-Flynn adds that the new partnership is in alignment with the global plan of action to combat trafficking in persons. Human trafficking is currently one of the world's most heinous and lucrative transnational crimes, referred to as modern slavery. It involves recruitment by deception or force and transportation across borders legally or illegally, or within a country for the purposes of exploitation. The National Security State Minister points out that global estimates suggest that approximately 45.8 million persons are enslaved worldwide, with women and girls accounting for 71% of the vast majority of all trafficking victims. 28% of all victims detected globally are children. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, has increased its on-the-ground presence in major town centres to manage the increase in commercial activity during the Yuletide season. Assistant Commissioner of Police Gary Mackenzie says the force has reduced administrative activities and strategically deployed its members to deal with the influx of persons doing business at this time of the year.
The JCF, as per our responsibility, we have been out there strategically placed to ensure that everyone that are moving about are safe. This includes monitoring and being visible on our highways, within our townships, within our commercial centers, our transportation hubs.
The head of the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTEB, was addressing a recent JIS think tank session. He said the JCF's Quick Response Unit would be on hand in all major town centres to provide immediate response to security threats and ensure the free movement of traffic.
From a public safety perspective, our strategies include traffic management. It includes being visible with beat patrols within commercial centers, at transportation hubs. We also have our quick response unit, which are personnel on motorcycles who are conducting prevention surveillance and will respond to any incident once they occur. A simple call to 119 can activate these persons, and they will respond quickly to deal with low to medium threat, and where it escalates, then other deployments will be there.
And finally, persons suffering from kidney disease now have access to improved care at the Mandeville Regional Hospital. The Southern Regional Health Authority, SARA, has implemented a renal anemia clinic at the hospital. SARA's Regional Technical Director, Dr. Vitalis Holder, explains that many patients with renal impairment were being hospitalized because of issues related to low blood levels. Dr. Holder says implementation of the clinic is a tool to monitor and manage these patients and hopefully keep them from needing hospital admittance. The clinic is the only one of its kind in the island and is opened every Wednesday. It currently serves 179 patients who are provided with blood and iron transfusion and erythropoietin injections to help keep their blood levels within the normal range. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.